How you going? My first question is for the revenue group, and I just want to talk about the tax expenditures and insight statement. I note that there's a number of provisions that give tax breaks to foreigners, namely Section 880, that gives sovereign entities, sovereign funds investing here in Australia a tax break. Section 128B that gives foreign banks a withholding tax break. Section 855 that gives foreign holdings in non-portfolio interests a capital gains tax break. And these tax breaks total about $4 billion. Do you think, given that we are looking at reforming the Tax Act, that it's right that these foreign entities get tax breaks not available to Australian entities? And in particular, the 128B, the public offer test, where the banks don't have to pay withholding tax, given that they are closing branches in the regions and not upholding the banking code of conduct, should we really be giving them a tax break?
Senator, I think, as I said to other senators, we look at the tax system broadly, but we're not going into specifics of what we look at. But I can say that those provisions are not actually immediately familiar to me. So I'm happy to...
Okay, I thought you were responsible for, well, Mr Jordan, you might be familiar with the provisions at least. I know you're not responsible for the policy, but there's a number of policies in the Tax Act that give tax breaks to foreigners that aren't available to Australian companies. Maybe, and I'm a bit disappointed you didn't know about these particular tax sections because I thought Treasury were the guys that designed the tax policy. Perhaps you could make yourself familiar with these sections of the Tax Act because they're giving a tax break to foreign entities, particularly foreign banks, and that's costed in the that's a big figure in B57 of the tax expenditures statement and B58. Some of those are very big tax expenditures. So perhaps you could come up to speed with them. But Minister, I'll ask it to you then, because you're obviously responsible for policy here. Do you think we should continue to give tax breaks to foreign entities that give them a competitive advantage in the Australian economy?
Well, we haven't made any changes to those, as I...
No, they're inherited, so that's, I admit, it's,
that I can recall. So they currently operate as they have previously, so that has not been our policy to change them.
Okay, so you're not interested in looking at removing the arbitrage between onshore and offshore profits?
Well, the government looks at the tax system. Obviously, the Treasurer is briefed by the Treasury around the tax system as a whole. We haven't made any changes in relation to the ones that you raised, Senator Rennick, if that...
Well, the fact that your representative from the Revenue Group's not aware of them, I suggest that you become aware of them because it's in the document. So.
Authorised G. Rennick, LNP Chermside.